President Bola Tinubu has directed the National Economic Council to come up with inputs on palliatives and the minimum wage review. The president was speaking during a meeting with members of the Nigeria Governors Forum led by its chairman, Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak of Kwara State in Abuja on Wednesday. Tinubu directed the National Economic Council, led by the Vice President Kashim Shettima, to mobilize various interventions to cushion the hardship faced by the most vulnerable Nigerians due to the subsidy removal. Besides the Vice President, the NEC comprises 36 state governors, the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, and other co-opted government officials. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has confirmed that once the Dangote refinery starts pumping out refined petroleum products from late July or early August, the NNPCL will cut down on its import of premium motor spirit. NNPCL is currently the sole importer of petrol into Nigeria, a task which it had shouldered for several years. Other oil marketers stopped importing petrol due to their inability to access the United States dollar at the official rate. NNPCL also owns 20% stake in the Dangote refinery. The 650,000 barrels per day crude oil processing refinery was inaugurated on May 22, 2023, by former President Muhammadu Buhari, who described the facility as a game changer. The Edo and Kwara state governments in Nigeria have reduced the working week to 3 days for state employees. The move is to help them cope with increased petrol costs following the federal government's announcement to scrap fuel subsidies. Nigeria is currently struggling to control the rising cost of transportation, which is affecting many citizens. The announcement by the two states will fuel debate in the public and private sectors about measures to help workers cope with the rising cost. Public service staff across Nigeria work 5 days a week, but there is still a lot of confusion about the fate of employees in the private sector, where some are required to work for 6 days a week. And still on the economy, in a bid to grow the economy, provide jobs for Nigerians, as well as provide the nation with foreign exchange, the Securities and Exchange Commission says it has partnered with the Standards Organization of Nigeria to develop standards for commodities meant for export. This was disclosed in a statement issued by the Commission, stating that Nigeria's agricultural sector in the country is expected to grow significantly in the future. According to the NBS first quarter report, Nigeria's agri sector moderated by 0.90%, thus contributing to a decline in the overall gross domestic product. Director General SEC Lamido Yuguda disclosed that the development of these standards would pave the way for the export of the products to the international market, which will in turn boost the Nigerian economy. The National Commissioner, Nigeria Data Protection Bureau, Vincent Olatunji, has said that the sector has combined earnings of 5.5 billion naira, contributing to the gross domestic products of the country. Olatunji, who disclosed this during the executive session at the Nigeria-Netherlands Economic Consultation on Wednesday in Abuja, reiterated the major significance of the Bureau's contribution to Nigeria's GDP. He stated that Nigeria leads in data protection in Africa with over 200 million people compared to other countries. The NDPB commissioner further said that the personal data of the Dutch citizens are safe in Nigeria, assuring them that appropriate safeguards have been put in place through the Nigeria Data Protection Regulation and the establishment of the Nigeria Data Protection Bureau by the federal government. Excuse me. And up ahead in the news, marketers struggle to raise 10 billion naira for new petrol orders. These and more after this commercial break. Thank you for staying with us on Business Now, reaching you live from iBrandTV news station here in Lagos State. Many depot owners may soon shut down their facilities due to the inability to meet the new financial requirement of about 10 billion naira by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited as the cost of lifting fuel from its ships. As at Wednesday, many filling stations in Lagos State were not selling products to the public. Sources indicate that depot owners were struggling to raise between 5 to 10 billion naira to make new orders from the NNPCL. The National Controller Operations of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Mike Osatuyi, said affected stations do not have products due to the increase in the prices of products at the depots. According to him, filling stations owners are currently required to have between 22.5 and 23 million naira to buy a truck of petrol, adding that one truck was sold for 8 million naira before May 29th. The Nigerian Export Promotion Council management has refuted claims of being summoned by the House of Representatives panel to come and explain the status of $1.67 billion crude oil revenue. A statement from the NEPC described as false online reports that his managing director had been summoned to appear before the House of Representatives. According to the statement, the media was capable of misleading the public and stakeholders in the non-oil export sector and thereby bringing council into disrepute. NEPC's head corporate communications, Ndubueze Okeke, stated that the council's statutory mandate is to develop and promote the diversification of the economy through the export of non-oil products and services. It said that pursuant to its mandate, it has not and has never been charged with regulating or coordinating the export of crude oil or otherwise since it was established in 1976. Inadequate electricity supply remains a huge challenge to manufacturers, accounting for their huge investment in self-energy generation, which stood at 76.7 billion naira in the second half of 2022. Manufacturers' cost of self-energy generation increased from 45.04 billion naira in the corresponding half of 2021, indicating a 31.66 billion naira or 70% increase over the period. According to the manufacturers, biannual economic review for the second half of 2022, it also increased by 8.9 billion or 13% when compared with 67.8 billion naira recorded in the preceding half. This document, which was made available to newsmen, presented the summary of the survey of the manufacturing sector by MAN for the second half of last year. The focus manufacturing indicators include capacity utilization, production value, inventory of unsold products, level of utilization of local raw materials, investment expenditure on alternative energy sources, etc. And still to come in the news, Senegalese government reinstates access to mobile phone networks. And this will come your way after this quick break. Stay with us.